Varys was a complete moron.
Yeah.
Because in the episode before the finale, he just walks up to Jon Snow and he's like, I don't really like Daenerys anymore. And he's like, oh. And he's like, I think you should be king. And he's like, why would you tell me that? You know, obviously I'm going to just go and tell Daenerys you said that.
Yeah.
And he's like,
is that how she found out?
No, I think Tyrion ratted.
No, but Tyrion was trying to rat on her in that episode, and then she's
but she already knew, actually.
Yeah, she already... How did she... Someone tell me how she found out. If anyone's going to comment on this video, don't comment to tell us we're crap. Just comment to say...
Yeah, because we already know that.
Yeah, I mean, like, how did she find out? Someone tell me. I can't be bothered Googling it.
Yeah. Jon's eyes open as well, already filling with tears. For a moment, neither moves, as if moving will make this real. We see Jon with his hand still on the hilt of the dagger he just lodged in Dany's heart. Her strength leaves her and she collapses to the marble.
I predicted Jon was going to kill Dany, but I think everyone predicted that.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
that was a gimme.
We're knights of the round table, we dance whenever we're able. We do routines, we call the scenes, the footwork in bed cable.
Starting from season 8, right? From just the start, there has been fan theories upon fan theories. And I mean, that's been going on throughout the full show.
That's the whole show,
which is fair.
The fan theories.
Yeah, and I mean, people have a right to have their theories, and sometimes that makes people enjoy this show more. For me, it sort of ruins it when someone brings this theory in, and the theory that they bring in is better than what the fucking writers are going to write.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the whole theory about Bran being the Night King would have probably been a way better ending than how Bran turned out to be the fucking king of the 6 kingdoms now.
But you didn't like Bran the Broken?
Bran the Broken.
Bran the Broken.
Knower of all things.
Bran the Broken, knower of all things, whose dick don't work.
Yeah. And his sister ratted him out as well.
Way to tight on him.
Hey, no, but I want to be... No, he can't do it, because he ain't got a dick.
He can't have kids, so what use is he? And then Tyrion's like, aye, but you know...
Now we'll just pick our
maybe
kings.
Maybe he shouldn't have kids.
Aye.
They wrote in a scene where Tyrion shows up as a prisoner, captured by Grey Worm, who I guess is now the de facto king. Or
he's the warrior of war, master of war.
The master of war.
So he automatically...
He's the warlord.
Yeah, he automatically has a lot to say.
So he's ranked high enough. He comes out, there's a bunch of dorks there, including the Starks, and a bunch of jabronis.
The dude that sucks on the tit.
The guy who sucks on the titty. Davos. He's done well for himself.
I like Davos though.
I love Davos.
Davos is the only character that I feel is consistent throughout the whole series.
That's true. And Yara Greyjoy is there, and I feel like a bunch of other people. Somebody from Dorne, maybe?
Yeah, I don't remember any of these 6 kingdoms anymore.
Are they? Is that what that's supposed to be? They're like the 6 representatives of the 6 kingdoms?
Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be.
But they're all dorks.
Yeah.
They're all
Do you know what?
losers.
I should have did my research, but I don't fucking care enough.
I did do my research, but apparently I didn't do it very well.
Yeah. I think that's what they were, like the 6 kingdoms. I mean, I couldn't even name you them, to be honest.
Is King's Landing a kingdom? Or is that just part of Westeros?
I think that's...
Westeros.
Let's cut this part.
Dorne? The Iron Islands?
Yeah.
Winterfell?
Winterfell,
well,
they're
not anymore.
Its own thing now.
Dorne? Essos?
Can't remember. You're asking the wrong person here.
I'm trying to get the 6. Karth? That's one of the places they've been. I don't know if that's part of the kingdoms. No, I don't think it is actually. Anyway, so they get there and Tyrion's dragged out as a prisoner, and he's basically in charge of the meeting.
Yeah.
So Samwise Gamgee, or not Samwise Gamgee, or not George R.R. Martin, but a completely original character, Sam. He goes, "Do you fancy a democracy?"
And they're like,
everyone
nah.
laughs at him. But about 4 minutes later, they all agree, and that it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Because Tyrion gets to have a big speech, and he goes, "You know who's the best? Our mucker Bran."
Because he's got a good story about him.
He's got a good story. He knows everything. And Bran is like, Yes.
I knew this was going to happen.
So they go, Bran, do you fancy being the king? And he goes, I've seen all of this happen, and I fully accept.
Yeah, pretty much. So he knows that he's going to be king the entire fucking time.
This week, Hunt, he's been such a great factor in the story that they literally ran out of ideas for him and just didn't bring him in for a season.
Yeah.
Remember that? They were just like, Bran's not going
He
to be in
was
next
just
season.
gone, wasn't he?
He was literally. They just literally said, Bran's not going to be in it this season. We'll bring him back next season. And then they fucking have him as the king at the end, and he's a guy who, like, obviously we all know that he has magical powers or whatever, but presumably to the layman of King's Landing or wherever the fuck you're from back in whatever time period this takes place in, he's just a wee fucking freaky guy.
Yeah.
Who's like, I know everything, and you're like, do you fancy proving that? And he's like, I really don't know.
I really just don't feel like it.
Brian, you know the way you're the all-seeing, omnipotent God of this universe, and you know everything. What's west of Westeros? Don't ask me, lad. I'm fucking rode off, boys. I just had a fucking J out the back, and I'm not answering any questions.
I mean, I can't even see. Like, I would have been happier with Sansa.
Nobody
running the
likes
place.
Bran.
Yeah.
Sansa's got her fans.
Yeah.
She's got very dedicated weirdo fans.
Yeah.
But at least she's got some kind of, like, motivation for wanting to be in charge of stuff. Bran has literally been like, I don't really give a fuck about any of the shit yous are quarreling about.
What you're even saying.
I don't care about whatever yous are talking about right now. And then he's like, I'm going to be the king. And everybody's like, that's grand. Because he's, I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around why they thought this was a good idea. Because in the universe, they're like, maybe it'll be class that he's the king because he doesn't deserve to be king. He doesn't have anything kingly about him. He's a weird, emotionless drone.
Yeah.
He knows everything, but he doesn't talk to anybody or have any kind of redeeming qualities. He's just kind of a freak.
He's got a good story, though, because he got pushed out the window and now he's alright.
He got chucked out the window by Jaime Lannister.
Didn't die.
And he's alright now.
Jon Snow also has a really good story. He's been killed.
It's true.
He's served in the Night Watch. He's defended a wall from the undead and he's been resurrected. I mean, like, what's a better story? Bran falling from a fucking height, dying, and then holding onto a tree branch for a couple of days for a full season, and then coming back and being the three-eyed fucking wee dickhead.
So hold on, I actually have some questions about this three-eyed raven stuff, and I know you're probably the last man to ask.
I'm gonna tell you now, I can't answer them.
Do people in this universe then, are they aware of
The three-eyed
what
raven?
this thing is, or
I don't
because I don't
really-
know what it is,
I
but
mean-
I'm stupid.
Tyrion and all, they mentioned it. They were like, he's the three-eyed raven, but I don't know if they really know what exactly that is.
But like, I mean, to like the other people who are on this apparent council,
do they know what it is?
do they know? Does anybody?
They probably do.
I mean, I assume that people who are a bit more mystical would be aware of what this is, but does fucking Gendry?
No.
Does he know what a three-eyed raven is? Does anybody who's not like an extremely well-known person in the mythos, do they have any concept of what this magical being is?
I couldn't tell you.
And what is this? What is the extent of the powers then? So he just knows everything.
He has all.
He's all seeing. So he's an oracle, basically.
Yeah.
He's all seeing.
And he can warg into other people.
I know he chooses not to do it whenever the dragon is murdering everybody.
Yeah,
he
I
just
mean,
kinda
why didn't
sat
he
there.
do it? I mean, well then, but like he's like, it's just letting things happen the way they're happening. I know how everything's gonna turn out, kind of thing. And then he's like, but
needs to happen that way, otherwise things won't turn out as well, and he won't be made the king.
Exactly.
What a cunt!
I mean, it's so stupid. I can't believe, like, I couldn't.
I don't think we're gonna pick that up.
We might, but like,
Play that back now, and we'll see if we pick that up.
but like, I don't think that I don't think the whole Bran thing, the whole Tyrion thing, the whole Sansa thing, her being like ratting her brother out for not having a fucking a working dick was
But his
pretty.
dick don't work.
Aye,
Why
so
can he be the king?
And then Tyrion's just like, no, we'll choose one. And then that's it. Everyone's kind of like, oh. So after they've appointed Bran and everything, it's all good. It gets to the point where it's showing all the ends for the characters. So Tyrion's just getting the table ready and all that there, and then they walk in and they wreck the table on him, and he's like, oh no, you're not supposed to do that. Really funny.
Some much needed comic relief after having to deal with all the horrible shit of the season.
Let's talk about Bronn now. I was predicting, one of my predictions was they're going to just forget about the whole Bronn story.
You know, it's funny, I said to Kate while I was watching it, where the fuck is Bronn? Like, he's going to show up and surely he's going to be like,
kill Tyrion
I want my... Because Tyrion's now the hand of the king.
Yeah.
So I was like, surely he's going to show up and be like, where's my castle or something?
Yeah.
No, I didn't think he was going to kill Tyrion, but like, no, apparently not only did he get all the shit that he wanted, but he also got made one of the most powerful men in the entire kingdom.
Yeah.
Well done.
Completely just ruining his arc, kind of like, I mean, like him and Jaime were like best friends for a while there, and then for all of a sudden, to me, it feels like he was just kind of like. Has
he only been in the two appearances this season?
I think so. Yeah.
When he showed up,
three, because he seriously's like, you got to kill my brothers, and then he shows up to be like, I'm gonna kill you unless you can bribe me, and then they're like, well, obviously we're gonna bribe you, so they bribe him, and then the third scene then is whenever he's just in the chair, all dressed all fancy.
The big comedy spot at the end.
Yeah, making his funny jokes that he always makes and stuff. Like, that character feels like he didn't get the send out. Like, I mean, the end that I thought he was going to get. I mean,
I don't think any characters got the end that I thought they would have got.
No, but yeah. Sam being the Grand Maester is all right though.
How is he all right to go ahead and just keep battering on the way he is? Because he's joined the Night Watch. So he shouldn't have any titles. So he shouldn't have been at that like meeting where they decided where he plunked for democracy. He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't be allowed to have. I think your woman.
I think because his dad though died.
But he's forfeited all of his titles.
Yeah,
when he joined the Night Watch.
Yeah, but
because Jon Snow's Jon Snow's all right to abandon all that shit because it's like until death.
Yeah,
and he died. And that's like his kind of loop to get out of it. But Sam didn't die. Why is Brienne there? Isn't she sworn to protect Sansa?
Yeah,
Not Bran.
Did Sansa just be like, yeah, you can have him?
She's just like, I don't need you. Get out of here.
Just take her. I don't care.
I know I'm the single sassy queen in the north now, who's probably going to have tons of people trying to murder her. But you know what, Brienne? You'll be alright.
Get out of here.
You hang out down here.
Go on, get out of here.
I'll get somebody else.
And they send her off anyway. And she's there. Yeah. And it's just, that's it.
And I guess she's the leader of her house?
No idea. but they're just there, and
everybody's just there. This whole council meeting as well. The process by which they decide that they are now going to become a democracy. That I don't know what the hell is going on. So is everybody getting a vote then, or is this a case where it's just kind of like the high people in the land?
I think this is just them there now making their decisions, and that's it.
And then so Bran he's the one with the best story allegedly.
Yeah, I mean,
so he gets to be the king.
There's one good thing I'll say about that scene with everyone sitting around the table starting to talk about how they're going to fix King's Landing and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it ended with like a nice wee like kind of Tyrion just kind of being like, oh, I'm gonna start telling my stories again, kind of thing. Like how he's like, you know, it just that scene ends with the shot pulling away from the table, and they start talking about.
It's like the ending of a fucking sitcom or something.
Yeah, but I kind of like that, to be honest. I think. From what I remember, but I watched it yesterday, and I'm sitting here going, "What the hell happened?" I can't remember exactly what was said.
I will say this though, good on Sansa. Somebody should have fucking appointed her for the Brexit negotiations.
Yes,
literally, as soon as her brother is made the king, she's just like, "That's pretty cool," but at the same time, no, we're not going to obey you. We want to be our own independent kingdom.
And he's just like.
He knows everything though, so he must have foresaw that it was an okay thing to grant Sansa her independence.
Yeah, which is there
Even
you go.
though surely that would cause massive amounts of problems with all the other kingdoms being like, why the fuck does this bitch, who also happens to be your sister,
Yeah.
why does she get to have her own independent rule? You couldn't even get your sister to agree with you,
Yeah.
you cunt. But he's just kind of like,
Whatever. Doesn't
what's
matter.
the worst that could happen? Like,
Yeah.
and then he gets rolled into his small council meeting and bails straight away.
He's like, okay.
And I was kind of in two minds about it. I was like, oh, that makes sense, I guess, because he's literally the all-seeing, all-knowing, so he doesn't need to attend any meetings because he already knows what happens.
Everything.
But also, so why did he even come in the first place?
Show face.
he's like, I'm just here to show you that I exist, but
I
also
care.
I'm not going to be coming to any of these meetings.
I don't care enough to stay, but I care enough to show up. Like,
I'll let you batter on me now. I already know what happens.
I kind of want to see what happens now that he's king. Really.
It would be like the best comedy movie ever made.
I mean, just getting to the end of everything, the score was really nice. I thought the score was really good where they added lyrics to the theme song and everything. Not that I could understand them, but I thought that was getting really good up to that point. And then they just kind of leave it open-ended.
Yeah.
So
It was almost shocking in how understated it was.
Yeah.
As a final episode for one of the most popular shows ever made, it didn't really feel at all like it was the final episode of the most popular show ever made.
yeah,
It felt like a complete afterthought.
yeah.
Like they had just completely abandoned any kind of hopes for ending the show right. A lot of other people were very annoyed at them turning Daenerys into the evil one and kind of making her murder everybody.
I mean,
And I have no problem admitting that in the context of what they had built up by that point made absolutely no sense.
yeah.
But at the same time, I was really happy with it because I thought it looked class. Her murdering everybody, that looked pretty cool.
That looked good.
And it was a great set piece to kind of hang the rest of the episode on. Too bad about all the terrible fight scenes and all the other horrible shit they had during that.
Everything in between her burning things down was awful.
But her burning stuff down and the stuff with Arya on the ground, great stuff.
Yeah,
I was really happy with that because I was like, this is at least something interesting. And if they don't have enough sense in their brain to write a proper finale, at least they kind of gave us something kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then they completely like turned it back and just kind of like, well, you know, maybe Jon Snow's kind of conflicted about killing his girlfriend / auntie, and I'm like, but why would he be?
Yeah,
because she's the worst character she is completely outranked Cersei and any other bad character, Tywin Lannister, anybody else in the entire series that have done anything bad.
Yeah. Overall, that last season was solely destroyed by the writers, and I think that's exactly what it is.
I think it's something that we were saying earlier when we were at lunch.
Yeah.
Is that the two people who should have put the most effort forward put the least effort forward, and everybody else suffers for it.
Yeah.
Because now you have morons on the internet petitioning Game of Thrones to do their season 8 over again, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, completely unfair to anyone that worked on it.
Yeah, it's unfair. Well, I mean, maybe not. They get another paycheck, so they'll be happy.
But a lot of people put
people put a lot of work into it. I feel bad for the actors. I have nothing but praise for most of the actors on the show. I think everybody's great. I think Peter Dinklage is amazing.
Yeah.
I think pretty much anybody that they get on the show is usually pretty good. There's some, people that kind of stick out and not great.
Yeah.
But,
overall,
really good performances from pretty much anybody on the show. Everybody's really on top form most of the time. But, and then, set dressers and stuff like that, they really make the show look amazing.
Yeah.
The costumes could use a bit of work. I feel like they just kind of wear the same costumes anywhere. I was kind of surprised whenever all the Winterfell guys came down and they're dressed like it's like they're in the middle of the Siberian wilderness, but they're in like a scalding hot climate. I feel like the writers completely fucked it up.
Yeah, they really did.
They didn't put as much effort into it as they should have. Even if you like the season, you have to admit that what they put forward as like a defining moment for the show, like this is supposedly the last ever episode, you would think that you would really want to make that something to be kind of like marveled at.
Yeah.
Because they just ended the Avengers like 2 weeks ago, and I thought that they did a much better job on
They had the
on
same...
a campy comedy superhero franchise. They
Yeah.
put so much more thought and emotion
and heart.
and heart into the ending of a Tony Stark, who's a shitty character, who's just a dickhead, basically.
But they made you
Yeah.
fucking feel for
Yeah,
him.
he had so much of a more impactful emotional ending than people that you've seen on TV since 2010.
And I mean, this has been all going on around the same length of time.
Yeah, basically.
And-
Like 2010, 2008. So
Yeah.
just give or take a couple of years, but mostly kind of gradually building up and now climaxing at
Yeah.
the same time. And it's a complete world of difference. You know what? I know I always talk about Dexter season 8.
Yeah.
It reminds me so much of that because that was ending at the exact same time as Breaking Bad.
And
You've seen Breaking Bad, haven't you?
I've seen it up to like season 4. I'm actually going to start watching it again. I do know what happens at the end.
But it's
spoilers for Breaking Bad.
I'm not going to spoil it because I didn't know that you haven't seen it, but I'll
Yeah.
not spoil it. Literally, Breaking Bad has probably one of the best final seasons of any TV show ever made. It's a complete 180 from what they did for Game of Thrones. It's so well written and kind of dark, but also at the same time satisfying.
Yeah.
That you really
It goes where you want it to
you
go.
feel like, no, it doesn't even go that way. It goes in a way that you don't expect it to go, but also in a way that you're happy, where you're not like, oh, I feel ripped off.
Yeah.
You're like, this is not what I was expecting, but fuck, this
And-
is
but
great writing.
That brings me to what I was going to say about this season
Yeah.
is people were expecting far too much, and I was expecting far too much as well. I was reading into the fan theories and everything before this season, and I was really hoping that a lot of the fan theories that were being, brought up and discussed on the internet, I really was hoping that was going to happen in this season, but I feel like the writers just try to ignore everything and go the opposite way of how the fans were thinking, and if I was a writer and I was on the internet and I knew what was going to happen, obviously they probably already wrote all this.
Yeah.
But it took 2 years to film and complete this entire series this season, sorry.
I'm sure they have contractual obligations that kind of dictate why certain things end the way they do, like kind of leaving everything open-ended. I'm sure that's partly HBO being like, you might as well just keep it open up, and then
we can make more.
Whenever your Star Wars movies shit the bed, you can come back and do season 9 of Game of Thrones, or like a spin-off or something. Which I think is almost inevitable.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think just to summarize this season for me, it was completely not what I expected it was going to be. Every episode disappointed me. I think if I was to go back and rewatch it, I might enjoy it a bit more because I'll see it for what it is. Okay, so our cameras have started dying, so we better wrap this up.
So that elusive 2-shot there means that we're winding down and officially out of battery for this night.
We've talked far too long.
We've talked so much about this fucking TV show that we apparently didn't have much to talk about.
Yeah.
And I know a killer when I see one.
And I feel like it's not just people who are just kind of ranting for the sake of ranting. People put 8 years of their time into this show, and to see it paid off as lazily as it was, it is bad. Like, I know in 6 months' time people are going to be like, oh, it's not as bad as you think it is.
100%, yeah.
But it is a shit ending.
I mean,
There's no doubt about it.
People have started watching this show and then they've read the books because they were like, I love this show so much, I want to know everything about the lore, and the books are going to tell me that. So
And then they just end up hating the show.
They just end up hating it, and they've wasted. It's just not. It's not a good way to end it, and especially the writers that I think talk about how much of a fan they are to the books and to the series in general. Did they write the other seasons as well? Or
they've been on since day one.
To wrap this video up anyway, hopefully we didn't ramble for too long, but to wrap things up, Game of Thrones Season 8 was not great. Everything else was spot on enough, and just in general did not enjoy the last season, and I've talked about it for far too long now. I'm going to give up on ever talking about it again, I think. But in terms of how do you feel?
But how did the dragon know to melt the throne?
How did he know?
How did he know to melt the seat?
The seat, man.
The iron seat has been destroyed.
The seat.
Seats.
The iron seat.
Seat. The seat. The seat. It's just a seat.
It is a seat, really. Seat.
And why is the seat burned? Fuck the seat.